guys, I am back, and look what we got. Courtesy of Jason, awesome viewer, Patreon supporter, man around town, debonair extraordinaire. I'm just making stuff up at this point, because I'm looking for a knife to open this box up. But we have Smoky Mountain Army Care Package for June 2020. I think we can all use something good and exciting with everything that's going on. So, let's take a look at what we have. By the way, unboxing courtesy of the Off-Grid Rhino. You'll see the individual review on this week. Awesome, awesome EDC blade. Okay, packing slip, confidential packing list, and our BDU style paper. Hat, Idaho Falls, Idaho. Wow, lots of big stuff in this. Okay. So let me get it all undone, and then we will talk about this subscription and what we've got in this month. Okay, so, there are 3 different levels to the Smoky Mountain Army Care Package. We've got the GI box, we've got the Officers Club, and we have the General's box. Some people, including me, call it the 5-star. So it's another box where the different levels build off each other. So if you get the General's box or the 5-star box, you get everything, right? If you get the Officers Club, you get this and everything in the GI box. And if you get the GI box, you just get the GI box. That's how it works. So since Jason pays for the General's box, we've got everything to look at in here. And we will take a look at everything in here. With every box, you always get a handful of freebie items included. So we're going to look at those real quick. You've got an American Hag flat. That's what I was about to say, an American Hag flat. You've got an American flag hat, courtesy of Mossy Oak. Right there, well, not courtesy of Mossy Oak. It's courtesy of Smoky Mountain Knife Works, but it's a Mossy Oak pattern camouflage American flag hat. So we've got that. You've got the pocket sharpener. Now, I believe we've gotten this as an actual item in, like a listed item in another one. And it's simple. You can find these all over the place. So you've got, I should take it out so you can see it better. I'll bring the camera in closer when we look at the actual items. But you've got your ceramic rod for fine sharpening. You've got your carbide rods for quartz sharpening, and it's a fixed angle sharpener. I'm not a huge fan of these, but if it's all you got, it's all you got. But it's nice. A little freebie. They always give you a little microfiber cloth in every single one. Sometimes it's the Smoky Mountain flag. You know, sometimes it's Benchmade, sometimes it's another one. But you got that. And then you got a cool K-bar sticker, an EC sticker, and a Leopold sticker for the window. And then, of course, there's candy. There's lots of candy in the box. I'm not scooping all the candy on the box side of the box just to put it back in. But they give you candy to enjoy while you're going through this. So we're going to start with the GI box, and then we will work our way through all the way down. Now, everything in the box obviously comes from the Smoky Mountain Knife Works catalog. And they give you the MSRP, and then they give you what you can find it for on the Smoky Mountain website or in their catalog, or if you stop by their actual brick and mortar store. So the first thing we got is the Rough Rider Red Pick Bone Sow Belly. Ooh. Okay. MSRP is for $14.99. At Smoky Mountain, you'll pick it up for $12.99. And it's another one of these cool trapper types that I am enjoying lately. Now, is it real bone? I don't think so. It looks like an acrylic, but I could be wrong. I'm not really sure. What we got here? We've got half stops. We got half stops. Red pick bone. It says it. Maybe it is real bone because it says red pick bone. I don't know, but you've got like the combination. It's nice of bead blast and I won't even say satin finish, just sort of regular bare metal. And then one more. So nice little piece to add to the collection. You know, these are all made in China. They're usually like a 440A. What does that say? There, I can't. Yeah, it says 440 razor sharp steel. Typically, if things are 440C, they'll tell you. It's not, 440A is not great. It's not going to hold your edge for a really long time, but you can put an edge on it fairly quickly. I think these are nice to collect because they just come in so many different styles and colors and configurations and stuff. And I think that the Rough Rider, did I say Red Rider? I might have said Red Rider, thinking of a Red Rider BB gun with a compass and a thingy that tells time. But I think what's nice about these is just, you know, you can, for you know, a relatively cheap price, throw them in your collection and just have a bunch of them like I do with Kissing Crane. So, but there is item number 1. They're built solid. They are built pretty solid. They just don't use the greatest steel. But I'm sure Jason has a bunch of these now from the subscription. So, moving on to the next item on the box, the Marbles Camp Axe. And look at this guy. We are going to need to cut open the Camp Axe. What do we have? We have the California warning that everything in this box will kill you. El Salvador. Nice. Stuff made in El Salvador. That's pretty good. There's some brands that are made down in South America. What am I thinking of that comes to mind? I can't think of it right now. Condor Knife and Tool is made down in South America, and it's pretty nice. And this has a great finish. Look at that. Now, I am not in a position to go outside, and is this going to come off and leave stickiness? Yeah, it is. It's not going to. Oh, there we go. All right. This is a very nicely done little piece, though. It actually does look kind of handmade. This MSRP's for $25.95. Smoky Mountain price $19.99. Looks pretty solid. It's not just a junky thing where they slip the head on. They actually have the metal wedge ring in there to keep this wood tight around the head of the axe. That's pretty nice, actually. I love it. Has that real forged look to it, you know. Now they can simulate that, of course, but weight is good. Yeah, it feels actually pretty nice. Nicely done handle. It's a nice little camp axe for you. I'm not going to be chopping on the table to test the edge. Oh my god, I totally forgot to test the edge of the other knife. I didn't even do it. I didn't even do it. We're going to do that. But nice piece. Nice piece. I like this. It's just a little wider shot so you can see the entire thing. Really nice weight to it, though. Oh. You know, I've been doing so much work on the model stuff lately, I forgot how we even do things around here. What is wrong with me? So, let's get Mr. Rough Rider, not Red Rider. Let's get a collection of edges out of the box. See, if I was doing this like on a live stream, people would have been there to be like, hey, you missed something. Excellent. Edge number 1 is very nice. Pulls right through. Clean cut, too. Very clean cut. Alright, we're not going to do the slice test because the slice test, I realize, is a little redundant, especially when we got 3 blades to get through. We might do it on other knives, but let's see. This blade. Now, this is also very sharp, but you can see it. Oh, there you go. It leaves a little bit kind of, you can see, a little bit less clean of an edge on the paper. But it's still quite sharp. And we'll pull through with this little guy. Again, very nice clean cut. And how do you like to pop through the cord? Awesome. And we've got 1 blade left. Oh, our little sheep's foot. This is the most clean slicing of the 3 blades so far. I'm enjoying this one. Let's see. And our pull through. Also very clean cuts, not a problem. This one pops right through the cord. Very good. So the, oh, that's got a nice contour with it. The Rough Rider, I'm struggling to not say Red Rider. because I want a BB gun with a compass and a thingy that tells time. The Red Rider goes, and I like it. I guess I'll just have to stay zoomed out a little bit so you guys can see piles of stuff. It's going to go, and I like it. As is the Camp Axe going in. I like it. Moving on, the SOG Aegis FLK. Now, I have kind of a love-hate relationship with SOG. It just says MSRP $34.95. Does that mean that's also what they sell it for? Because it doesn't give a Smoky Mountain Knife Works price. I think that SOG knives in general, some of them are built really, really well. Some of them are. Some of them are okay. I think that they're very overpriced, speaking in generalities, for what they offer you. I'm not talking about how I like the styling or anything like that. I very often avoid SOGs because of how overpriced they are. I have some that I like. I had a great one that I lost that I really liked. But they tend to be, for what you're getting out of the box, very overpriced. So $34.95. It's got an 8 CR13 MOV blade. 5.2 ounces. It's got a steel frame lock. And, you know, I tend to think that this same thing by Kershaw would just be less expensive. I know that the Aegis, you know, the original Aegis by SOG was way more expensive than this. You have nearly perfect centering on this. Nice. It's not spring assist. It just does that. Not bearings. It's got washers. And it's a comfortable knife. It reminds me of, and I gotta say, you know, like Kershaw has some of those very inexpensive, simple knives. It reminds me of a much cheaper Kershaw. It really does. Although I do like the look and the feel of it. It just, you know, it'd be great for customization because look how wide open it is. But I think Kershaw could sell you this thing for like $20, maybe 25. Nice action though. I mean, I can't argue with that. Very nice edge right out of the box. Wow, really? I was sure that we were going to get a much easier pull through. A little bit more effort than the Rough Rider for a pull through on that, believe it or not. Interesting. Very interesting. Go figure. I'm not going to do the lock. Oh, well, no, Jason says we can do all this stuff. So, take a look at the lock there. That lock really probably had nowhere to go to move anyway. But it's not sticky, and centering I don't think has moved at all. No blade play. I think the price is too much. I think the price is too much. For the materials, I don't know what kind of steel they use for the handle, but I think it's too much. On the other hand, I think seeing this in like a really cool, like matte black Cerakote would be awesome, you know. But I'm gonna have to put this one in meh. Not for the knife itself. Well, partially for the knife itself. Just it's very thin, very very thin. Although it does have a nice deep carry clip, but can't do anything with it. Tip up, right hand only. But for the price of what you're paying, I think it's a little overpriced. I'm gonna put that one in meh. Meh. Here's meh. And moving on. Wow, that's it. That's everything in the GI box. Usually there's much more in the GI box, but I guess the values, well, I don't know. I'm not going to comment on that. That's everything in the GI box. We're going to move on to the Officers Club box, which is a single item. which is another SOG. It's the SOG Trident Elite. And this one is MSRP $76.95. The Smoky Mountain price is $39.99. It's got an AUS 8 blade this time, which I like, and we're going to start arguing over AUS 8. Some people really don't like AUS 8. I always say when cryo-treated, because AUS 8 is really good when cryo-treated. AUS 8A. This is just AUS 8, not AUS 8A. But anyway, AUS 8 can be done very, very well. And be less expensive than some of the fancier steels, but still do really, really well for you. So let's take a look at this, shall we? Well, first of all, I gotta notice, because you guys know how much I love beautiful satin grind lines. It's very nice. It's got a polymer handle with this rubber onlay, which is nice for grip. Clip, I guess, can be reversed because it kind of gets inset there for right hand or left hand, but tip up only. It's not bad. Now this lock that they have there, what do they call it, the arc lock? I have that on a couple other knives. It's a nice lock. It's interesting. The Flash and the Flash 2 use the same thing. So it has this little safety lock here. I don't know why I'm showing you the upside down. Little safety lock here. There we go. It needs to break in a lot. And it's now locked, so we can't open it, because it has a spring assist that's pretty strong. Centering is really good. Jimping all the way down the spine. And you've got a glass breaker in kind of an odd place. Glass breaker up by the pivot. Look at that. Now, when the blade is closed, you have a seatbelt / cord cutter right there. Okay. So we'll unlock that safety, and yeah. Did you see that? Did you see how it kind of jumped a little bit? Let me show you that again. Yeah, it's a pretty strong spring assist in there. You know what I want to do first? I want to, let's get a piece of 550 cord, and now since it relies on the blade, wow, that was really easy. That went really well, and look how clean that cut is. It is like perfect. So we're not going to do the pull through test because we can do it right there. Very nice, and that's all super clean. Now it's got a little recurve to the blade, and in some previous comments on another one, some people have talked about how hard it is to sharpen a recurve. It's really not. That's why they sell sharpening rods instead of just a flat stone. It's a little bit of work on your part because you have to use the rod instead of the stone. It is not that hard to sharpen recurves, and I can do a video on it if we need to. It's just using, they also have for the Lansky even, they have a rounded stone. It just means using that instead of a flat stone. That's all. And even with a flat stone, you can still do it. But this might be so far kind of the gem of this box. The jimping is really good, gives you good control of the knife all the way through. And I definitely would want to use that lock, though, if this thing's in my pocket, just in case it got caught on anything, because that spring is powerful there. But I'm going to put this one in like it. Even though it's a SOG, and I don't know, at the Smoky Mountain price of $39.99, that's not bad at all. The MSRP of $76, almost $80 for, you know, that's just me. But I don't know if I'd pay that much. But for a well-done knife, though, you know, it's well-engineered, that's not so much. But that's going in like it. Oh, I'm sorry, there's two items in the Officers Club box. We have a Kershaw Blur, which is kind of like classic Kershaw. If you have a Kershaw collection, you have to have a Blur and Elite at some point in your collection. Now, wow, MSRP on this is $119, $119.99, and the Smoky Mountain price is $62.99. I must be out of the loop because I can't imagine paying that much for a Blur. Wow, that's crazy. Now I have I had a blur like this that was all beat up, and I redid it on the channel once upon a time. I will put an end screen to that process in the at the end of the video. But the blur is, like I said, this is like one of Kershaw's, I don't want to say flagships, but anyway, you've got aluminum frames. It comes in all different colors too, and you've got this very rough texture rubber inlay, which gives you great grip. It's a spring assist knife. And oh, that's nice. That's a beautiful knife. That's really, really nice. It's also got a little recurve blade, but people love the blur. It is really one of the most popular Kershaw knives. This one comes in Sandvik 14C28N. So this might be like a special edition one, or just maybe not special edition, but a kind of a different. Maybe that explains the price, because they normally don't come in that kind of steel. That's a very different kind of steel. But look at the matte coating on the blade. I love that. I wonder what that is. It just says black DLC finish. But get your hands on a blur. If you don't have a blur in your collection, they're not all this expensive. But it's speed safe. I say it time and time again, is my absolute favorite spring assist system. It rockets the blade out. You don't have to fight against it to put the blade home. So one-handed all the time. And the blur is just, it's one of the greatest. I'm having trouble biting in right there down by the end of the blade. That's why it's doing it. See, when I don't try to force it all the way to the bottom of the blade, it cuts fine. I take it back. This is the treasure of this box so far. A little harder than I wanted for the pull through, but this is like something that if I had it in my collection, I would never let this one go. And these little rubber, they call them like track tech or something. It's like, the kind of texture on a running track or something. It's just so comfortable. I'm not going to, because of the DLC and all, I'm not going to mess with this one. I'm not going to do that to him. I recognize I didn't do that on the SOG either. I will do that next. But this is awesome. This definitely goes, and I like it. Worth the price. Let's do... Now, this has an entirely different sort of locking system. This is close to an axis lock. It's close to the ball lock that Spyderco uses on things like the Manix 2. But let's check it out, okay? No, nothing. And it was a rough unlock anyway. It's almost like a piston lock. And it still locks into place with no blade play. So I didn't even think to do the lock test on these, because these are like super secure locking knives. They don't unlock. It's an interesting system they use. All right, next and final item, the EC6 with the 3D handle. What do we got going on here? MSRP is $218.06. Don't forget the 6 cents. Smoky Mountain's price is $119.99. So, made in Idaho Falls, Idaho. Not too far from where I was stationed, but not too close either. I have to get Jason like 3 boxes shipped to him, which I'm doing immediately after this video. And you also get Randall's Adventure Training, which is Rat. And you get the little Randall Adventure card and the EC knife sticker. But let's take a look at this beauty. And to be honest, I'm not sure what I'm more jealous of, the blur or this. Or this, because this is amazing. Another one of these. Okay. So a 3D, is this a 3D printed sheath? Let's read for a second. Okay, so we have, it says 3D printed G10, 3D machined G10 scales. So they are milled. They are. This, I think this is like not Kydex. This is plastic. Interesting. Holy cow. This is awesome. This feels fantastic. I cannot describe how nice this feels. And then we have all the pieces that would let you attach this to the sheath for, say, a belt carry. You know, a snap-on belt carry there. You could do this if you wanted, even as horizontal carry. You could set it up. You could do tip up. This system lets you arrange it pretty much however you want. The knife, I mean, when you get an EC, you're getting top quality. It's 1095 carbon steel with desert tan powder coat on the whole thing. The scales are, yes, phenomenal. Palm swell is perfect. It's a nice big handle for whoever might use it. You've got leverage for coming down with a chop. It's a nice size. It's not too unwieldy. Jimping is right where it needs to be on the thumb, but you've got plenty of traction in these scales, and they're nice 2-color G10. It's a really nice feel. The sheath here is, it's an interesting choice. Kydex is a form of plastic too, but this honestly doesn't feel as good as like a Kydex. It's got good retention and it comes out easy. It feels, and I'm not saying it is, I'm saying it feels flimsier than your standard Kydex. But you can play 80s DJ with it and scratch the record if you want. I lost my paper. I got a new one though. Don't worry. Don't worry. That was not inspiring right there. Let's see. That's not fun. There you go. I guess I was being a little too Crocodile Dundee with the chopping the knife down. That's on me. You get a knife like this in your hand and you want to smash things. You want to hack things and chop things and make big things into little things. And the blade though is really nice. See? It's not giving me a great pull through, honestly. I modified it into a slice. It could just be the positioning and the leverage of the blade. I don't know, but it didn't give me the pull through action that I wanted. And I'm not going to make any. I want to make an excuse for it and say well, this thing's a chopper anyway. But you know what? The blade should be sharp. The blade should be able to do that. But it is kind of a chopper. Power also comes from its weight. But don't want to gouge this. Yeah, you know what? This edge needs just a little bit of refining, a little bit. Just a little bit. It's sharp. It does the paper test. I'm also holding back because this is, this is not a wood block. I think if I was outside doing this, I might get a little bit better results. But it's still a beautiful knife, and with just a little bit, maybe just a fine diamond stone on there, or maybe even a strop, or maybe me not being a pussy about it. Either way, whatever the answer is, root cause, I'm not sure. This has the potential to be great. The weight on it is so good. So this is going to go and I like it. So there is your box for this month. We have nothing in Don't Like It. Nothing. This is a nice looking knife, but just the price to the materials, not feeling it. For Like It, we have all these guys right here. So once again, I feel like the price was worth it, is justified in this box. I think that if you are a knife guy or gal or llama or whatever you want to identify as, crab people, it's cool, whatever. I think this is definitely the box for you. If you're willing to walk that line between you're going to get some really good stuff and maybe some stuff that's not so great, but overall the box is good. I like this box a lot. I'm really grateful to Jason for letting us take a look at it and routing it through me on the way to him, which is really cool. I have to send him 3 boxes back now. What are your thoughts, guys? What do you think? I wish that this was not in the middle of the night, and this was outside, so I could really let it go. But I think that this would really perform in the right circumstances. But you know, it is what it is. I love the blur. The blur is awesome. Jason, love this blur and never let it go. I have I have 3 blurs in my collection. One is a Halloween special edition from like 2000 whatever. One is that refurbished one that you can see the video for in the end screen, and the other one is just like a standard, just like run-of-the-mill blur, and I love them all. It's classic Kershaw. So, you know, you don't have to get the special edition one. Just look into the Kershaw Blur. They're just fantastic knives. I think this is a good box though. Less items, but I think all good quality items. What do you guys think? What are your opinions? I would like to also hear, by the way, you don't only have to agree. Let me hear from some folks that think the box is not worth it, and why do you think it's not worth it? Because I know there's something out there. Why do you think it's not a good investment in, you know, for the money? I'd really like to hear from you guys, especially. All right. So let me get this stuff packed up. You guys feel free to peruse the end screen videos. Check out that blur refurbishment in the shop. Hopefully I'll be getting back into the shop really soon. But in the meantime, you guys are all absolutely awesome. I appreciate every single one of you. One more last big thank you to Jason for letting us check out the box. And I will be back again real soon.